Hello, I'm your Kingdom Spiritual Transformation and Spiritual Warfare Coach and Mentor, Latricia Booker. And now I'm stopping by to tell you that they want to make demands of you. They want to make demands of you. And I'm going to leave this message with Luke 20, verses 1 through 8. And it says, "One day, as Jesus was teaching the people and preaching the good news in the temple, the leading priests, the teachers of religious law, and the elders came up to him. They demanded, 'By what authority are you doing all these things? Who gave you the right?' 'Let me ask you a question first,' he replied. 'Did John's authority to baptize come from heaven, or was it merely human?' They talked it over among themselves. If we say it was from heaven, he would ask why we didn't believe John. But if we say it was merely human, the people would stone us because they are convinced John was a prophet." So they finally replied that they didn't know. And Jesus responded, "Then I won't tell you by what authority I do these things." And that is the word of the Lord. And so, kingdom people, listen. These people want to make demands of you. They want what they want from you. And they're pretty much having in their mind and in their spirit that they are going to demand you to do it. In fact, many a times this comes through their behavior. It comes by way of them kind of trying to bully you, impose themselves on you. You know, many a times when people are trying to engage you, usually in a negative manner, but sometimes it can start off where they're trying to be cool with you. Like they're coming off as friendly and nice, but because you pick up on their spirit, and then they have certain patterns of behavior that you are able to identify because you know it, you've learned this, you know what it is, you know what their true intentions are behind their even niceness and friendliness. And what happens, kingdom people, is when you move around, because you identify those spirits that are working through them and what they on crazy with you, and you recognize that. You recognize them to be manipulators, and ultimately, you know they want something from you. And then they tend to be jealous, and we've come to learn that these kind of people do want to befriend you, if we're going to call it befriending. But they want to get on the inside so they can get your information, so they can become more jealous of you. They don't do it for that reason, but that's what happens. But they're nosy. They want to get on the inside, and they want to know more about you. And then they do get jealous, and then they try to destroy you. But what had happened, what be happening these days, because we know some of you all are still learning, but even in your learning, you notice this too, is that when you either withdraw or when you don't allow them in, period, simply because you already know what it is, they act out on you. They get upset. They start trying to bully you, trying to force themselves, trying to start fights with you. And it's because, kingdom people, they're wanting to make some demands of you. What it ultimately is, they want something from you. They want what they want. And so they're making an effort, because that's what it is, to try to demand you to give them what they want. And it's kind of like this. When these Pharisees and these religious leaders came to Jesus asking him about who gave him this authority, he asked them a question. And they didn't want to answer. They didn't want to answer. They didn't want to answer. And they didn't want to answer. First of all, they didn't have the answer. They want to make demands of you, just like these Pharisees, these religious leaders. They want to demand you to give them an answer, or give them what they want from you. But if you were to, not that you would do this, demand something of them, they would have a problem with it. They wouldn't want to do it. And some of these people do want answers from you. I said they want to know your business. And so, too, what happens is when you don't have anything to do with them, they're angry because they don't know your business. Because you're not letting them in. You don't have any dealings with them. Even if they stalking you, they still don't know your business. They could see you moving around if they're in a vicinity, or even if it's online stalking. They can see you doing whatever you're doing. You know, what you're not doing is telling your business, even online. And so, they still don't know nothing. But in their mind, they want to know. And they have these demands in their mind that they're trying to force onto you. Whether it be whatever games they play. Again, if they're in a vicinity, sometimes even online, people will ask certain questions to get information out of you. But you don't answer them. You're not getting ready to tell anybody something that you don't want them to know. And sometimes you don't even know who half of these people are. Either way, even if you know them. If you don't want to divulge that information, you're not going to. They're being nosy. They're demanding information from you. They're trying to demand. Again, they want to make demands on you. They want to get this information out of you. And again, just like Jesus, you demanding that they leave you alone by not engaging them. And they don't even want to do that. So, you don't want to leave me alone? I ain't giving you no information. I'm not giving you what you want. Even though you wouldn't do that anyway. Point is this, kingdom people. They want to make demands on you. But you're not obliging to their demands that they're trying to make on you. And so they feel entitled to it because they want it. Whatever these people have in their mind that they want from you, they feel entitled to it simply because they want it. And so, going back to Jesus, he asked the question, "Let me ask you first." He replied, "Did John's authority to baptize come from heaven, or was it merely human?" Again, they talked it over among themselves. They said, "I don't know." They said, if we say this is gonna happen. If we say that, then that's what this is gonna happen. So they was like, "I don't know," but yet they're trying to make demands on Jesus to answer their question when they wouldn't answer his. And what Jesus say? He responded and said, "Then I won't tell you about what authority I do these things." And so, here's the thing. These people be acting out because they have demonic spirits operating in and through them. Ultimately, yes, that is so, but they have unhealed trauma. Many of these people don't know who they are, and who they have become is Satan's children. They're very insecure. They're very jealous-hearted. They always competing and comparing. They just messed up. And when I say that, I mean, it's really a sad thing. We don't like to see it, but this is what it is. And they're trying to make these demands on you. And so even with the behavior, even if somebody was to try to have some kind of conversation with you or ask some questions of you, and this is a good one. You simply ask, why? Why do you want to know? They, for the most part, wouldn't be able to answer that. And some people, I've had this, "Oh, I'm just curious. I just want to know." And usually what they're asking is so invasive that they shouldn't be asking it. And it's because it's not an innocent question. It's something behind it. Even nosy people, just nosy people, what they need to just not be nosy. They need to mind their own business. So even if they're not intending on doing anything with it, certain questions you shouldn't be asking people, especially if y'all not like that. If they're not just sharing that, you shouldn't be asking. But here's the thing. Case in point, somebody trying to be on one with you, or trying to bait you into some kind of argument or whatever. And you just happen to ask them a question based on their behavior, based on whatever they're saying, doing, even asking you that they shouldn't be. And let's say you ask them, what do you expect to gain from this? Or why do you behave this way? Or what happened to you as a child? Or what is it that you need to heal from? Or see how I can go on and on and on. And here's the thing. Those are legitimate questions, because based on their behavior, these questions are warranted. But they wouldn't be able to answer any of those questions. You know why? Because they don't know. They don't know the answer to those questions. You know, some of them questions that make a person just, because they don't think like that. They don't think about these things. And that's demonstrated in their behavior. People who think logically, I'll say. Don't think from their trauma. They don't behave that way. So if you was to pose those questions to them or whatever, they wouldn't be able to answer. Yet they're wanting to make demands on you, because again, they want what they want. These people just want what they want. And these people tend to be very immature. They actually, they're like children. They never really grew up emotionally, even mentally, a lot of times. Because again, the way they think, the way they behave shows the way they think. People who think maturely and logically and reasonably and practical, not out here acting like a circus clown. We're not doing that. We're not imposing ourselves on people. We're not asking questions that we shouldn't be asking them, because it's none of our business. You see? So behavior always indicates internal condition, a person's internal condition, mental condition, even emotional. And so, kingdom people, these people are putting it in their mind what they want from you. They have a plan, which is why they're trying to make these demands. They're trying to force themselves on you to give them what they want. And again, a lot of their behavior is demanding, even in a chaos. That chaos is an indication that they want something from you. And that's their way of demanding it. Because again, they're like children. They throw tantrums. That's the only way they know how to make a demand. It's kind of like a 2-year-old that throws a tantrum. Why is a 2-year-old throwing a tantrum? Because they're not getting their way. And their behavior is demanding that you give them what they want. And so that is exactly what these people, with all their erratic behaviors and all their inappropriate questions, that's exactly, what's happening there. They're trying to demand that you give them what they want. Give them your information, even if they have questions. And so I'm reminded of how even adults, narcissists are good for this. The overt narcissists, meaning they ain't covering it up. The covert ones, they're underhanded. They come off one way, but no, under all that is a whole full-blown devil. And they just gotta trick you. Or overt narcissists in your face like rah. They don't care. But here's the thing. I mean, they have their mal moments. But when you're not giving them something that they want, what do? Get angry and blow a gasket. That is them throwing a tantrum to get what they want. It's also a fear tactic. They're trying to intimidate you, inflict fear on you so that you will give in and give them what they want. Because if you don't give me what I want, this is what I'm going to do. Act a whole fool. But kingdom people, they want to make demands of you. And because you're not answering their demands the way they want, in whatever that capacity that is, they blowing a gasket. They throwing tantrums. They mad. They're big mad because you're not giving in to their demands. And it's not your job to give in to their demands. They need to make some demands of themselves to get their minds right, to get their lives right, to get themselves right with God. That's what they really need to be doing. Because truth be told, kingdom people, that's what you really represent to them. That they need to get their life right with God. And it don't mean that you got everything together. We always working on something. God always gonna be working on us. But to them, that they see something in you that they feel like they ain't got together, that they missing. That's part of why they making these demands on you. Because they want to get inside of your brain, get inside of your life and take a look around. Let me see what's going on. I just heard, let me see what I can destroy. Because these kind of people don't grow. Again, you represent to them that they need to get their life right. Part of what you represent is that they need to grow. They need to grow up. They need to mature. They need to do better. And part of the reason why they want to battle and fight with you is because they don't want to. They just want to demand of you your information. They want to demand of you what they want to do with you. I want to use you. I want to, whatever it is. Because there's so many things that these people be on, kingdom people. It's absolutely ridiculous. But the point here is they want to make demands of you. They want to. They even try to sometimes with all they. That's them making a demand of you to give in and give me what I want. Okay, the people, they want to make demands of you. And that is all I have to say about that. So, if you like this video and or if it resonates with you, please just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Then click on that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Thank you. Make sure you go ahead and ring my bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell so that you can receive a notification every time I upload a new video. If there's any information you need to know about me, you can find all that right down below in the description box along with other helpful resources. Kingdom people, thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you for all your likes, subscribe, shares, or your comments and feedback, for all your financial contributions to my channel, and for all the seeds that you sow into me in my ministry. And a special thank you to those of you who do sow into me in my ministry. I pray that your seed returns to you a millionfold. Thank you all, kingdom people. Thank you. Now, kingdom people, I love you all so very much. I really don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. Yet, I will be back to hold my kingdom people down. Now, kingdom people, above all else, let the Holy Spirit lead you in all things at all times, and don't give in to their demands. Kingdom people, we are unstoppable, we are unmovable, we are unbreakable, and we are untouchable. Kingdom people, keep going, and go and be great. Now, kingdom people, stay in your kingdom bag, doing kingdom things, making kingdom moves, because we are kingdom, period. Now, kingdom people, that is our time. This Jesus girl is out. Shalom and peace.